Hey everyone, Meteorologist Sabrina Bates here. Sunday, November 19th. Um, just before 10 o'clock into the evening. Let me know where you are watching from. If you have any questions with the forecast, I know a lot of you probably hearing the sound of thunder outside. I am just also loading the Facebook Live that is on my page, on the KOCO page, so I can make sure I see everyone's comments as well. So I think I have that. So a lot of times I miss some comments, so I'm hoping this will be able to make sure that I'm able to see everyone's. I know a lot of people from Edmond up towards Guthrie, Stillwater, Enid, closer towards Cherokee even, have been saying that, hey, I've been hearing the thunder. We have that rain out there right now, some storms that have developed really over the last couple hours. As expected, by about 9-10 o'clock we were going to start to see a bit more development. They're starting to ramp up more. They're still continuing to pulse up, so we're still watching for that strong to severe weather threat here over the next few hours. I'd say by just after midnight, by about 1-2 a.m. we'll see that threat diminish. But of course, a lot of heavy rain, lightning. You're looking at winds about maybe 40 to 50 miles per hour, and hail would be your biggest threat that we're watching for tonight, and that'll be up to about the size of quarters. So earlier this morning, if you saw and you had some of those storms, some people did have about pea to nickel, maybe dime sized hail or so. So storms today have been able to produce some of that hail, and that threat continues as we go overnight. Let's take a look at the radar. Great, it was able to save okay. So I know this isn't the exact radar you would look at, let's say, when we're actually doing it on our phone instead of on the computer here, so bear with me with this. You'll notice a bit of interaction on the radar towards the west, some of those lines. Just ignore that. I'll point out here the areas that I am watching for those storms. I'll have to zoom in closely so you're actually able to see more of these storms, but this is towards the OKC metro here. So you're looking from El Reno, north of Union City, up towards Yukon, our friends in Moore, Midwest City, OKC, Edmond. I can name a lot of towns here, right? So these storms are overall moving towards the northeast. Not terribly slowly, but also not super fast, around 30 miles an hour. But you'll, as you see these storms to go overhead, there'll be a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain with it. I know I've seen some reports of that for our friends over in Edmond and just north of where the TV station is here and everything. But we're seeing the rain right now from Midwest City over towards Shawnee. Now, our friends that are south of I-40, for the most part, you're not seeing many storms of rain. But we do have this one storm that did develop close to Lindsay and Payne. This will be pushing up towards Purcell, Wayne, eventually towards Asher, south of Tecumseh. So again, overall, these storms are moving generally towards the northeast. And I'll show you on Predictor in a few minutes here how the storms are actually going to be changing their motion as we go overnight for tonight. So I showed you the OKC metro. We go just north of OKC. Storm's going to be moving up towards Cashin, Guthrie, was stormy over in Stillwater. Mulhall, been seeing a lot of rain and storms. Storms are just south of Perry, but going to be moving up towards you. Friends in Ponca City are dry right now. Then we push over towards Enid near Vance Air Force Base. You're dry at the moment, but then we go just towards the north, closer towards, looks like 64 right there near Jet and Nash. Great Salt Plains Lake, all that. That's where that rain is going to be headed up towards, near Wakita, towards the northeast. And you see all the way over towards Elva as well. And I'll zoom out here, and there's actually a pretty big cluster for far northern Oklahoma near Great Salt Plains Lake. A lot of heavy rain with that, a lot of lightning with that as well. So we have that cluster. We have a few areas of just some smaller storms that have developed, that other cluster over the OKC metro, and then also from Guthrie over towards Stillwater. Here's the risk, though, for tonight. You can see a marginal threat, right? So very low and severe weather threat with this. Marginal threat, so a couple storms, one or two, have that potential to become severe. And if we are talking about severe, you're looking at hail, again, up to about the size of quarters. Enough to do, some damage, but it's not a concern. It's not the type of severe weather threat where I'm, overly concerned or anything like that, and considering most of the storms right now aren't even producing hail at this point. All right, I know there's probably a lot of questions. I'm going to run through Predictor. Hopefully that'll answer some of the questions, since I know a lot of people are wondering about their town exactly. So find your town on the map. I'll give you a second here. Try to figure out where you are, and we'll run through this here overnight into tomorrow. Now, this model run is a bit more aggressive with a lot more heavier rainfall. That's what I mean by aggressive. So it's pointing out the rainfall a lot more vividly than what's actually happening on the radar right now. It's not as elongated from one point to another, but it gives you a general idea of the motion of the storms and where we could be seeing some of the storms and rain overnight for tonight. So we go in about an hour or so, we're still watching those storms in parts of central Oklahoma, northern Oklahoma. And you'll notice as we get to about midnight, 1 a.m., you'll start to see that shift slightly more towards the east, but our friends still in northern Oklahoma still going to be seeing some of the stronger storms, heavier downpours, still watching for that hail threat up to about the size of quarters again, right around this time. And then you'll notice we get about 2, 3 a.m. again. Instead of necessarily going northeast like the storms we're just doing, they're actually diving a bit more towards the southeast, and that'll be towards Tulsa, Stillwater, our friends right near the turnpike. There's going to be a chance early tomorrow morning, 4 or 5 a.m., that this actually elongates all the way down towards the OKC metro. So I'd say maybe Arcadia, Edmond, you might be hearing some thunder as well early in the morning. But we get to about 6, 7 a.m. Let's say you're about to head out the door for work and everything. The really heavy rainfall is going to be eastern Oklahoma, right? So you're looking at Tulsa, Chakotah, our friends over in Arkansas. There still will be some rain, though, for the rest of us. Sort of more scattered, not as heavy as what some of us are seeing for tonight. So I'd keep the rain gear handy. Give yourself a few extra minutes tomorrow morning because the rain won't be totally over with, but the heavy stuff will be done. So then we get throughout the morning. Again, this entire weather system pushes towards the east. We get still some of that rain throughout the morning. Then we get into the afternoon, and really most of this is going to be out of the area. All right, I'm going to go through some of y'all's comments here. I'm going to put my earpiece in as we get closer to the newscast so I could listen for when the show's about to start and everything. But sometimes I lose some of the comments here, so sometimes they'll disappear on me, so I'm going to try to get through them okay. I see a lot of people just saying hello, where they're watching from. Love that. Hello, hello. Lisa saying Yukon just sprinkling outside. Yeah, I think with a lot of these storms, some of our friends, you may call up a friend or a family member, and they have, a lot of heavy rain where they're at, but then by you might just have some lighter rain. Clinton asking for the 27th and 28th. So next week, see my forecast here. Right now I have those days fairly dry. It's actually going to be next weekend where I'm going to be watching for some precipitation, but of course that could change, within 24 hours, give or take, back and forth because the weather system's still so far away. But I know a lot of people, I saw some comments asking about wintry weather and snow and everything. The models are in very much disagreement and all that. I can say yes. Yes, it is going to be cold outside. Highs are only going to be in the 40s next weekend. But, gotta lower that just a little bit loud for me. Yes, it'll be cold next weekend. We'll be in the 40s. Wintry precipitation, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be something that is completely locked in or anything. Jacqueline, sleep-in weather. Yeah, I'd say pretty good sleep-in weather for a lot of us. It's going to be noisy for some of us, though. So, of course, if you have kids or pets, they'll probably wake up from it. Asking Norman, looking for tomorrow morning, a bit more soggy outside by the afternoon. Mainly just cloudy, but it'll be windy and highs only in the 50s for us. I see a lot of people talking about snow and everything. Keep in mind, guys, it's still over a week out. I wouldn't necessarily say there's going to be snow or anything. Keep in mind, when you're looking at snow this early in the year, you're looking at a few flurries here in Oklahoma. Yes, some models are showing parts of the state, maybe over into Texas, Kansas, seeing that snow, but don't worry about it this far out, right? There's still a lot of disagreement with a lot of the weather models. Yes, I can tell you it is going to be cold next week. Highs in the 40s, 30s for some of us. It'll be cold, right? It'll be lows in the 20s. Snow for everyone? No, that's not at all the case. Keep in mind, still pretty early in the seasonal. Highs for tomorrow, people asking about tomorrow, will be in the 50s. That rain really is going to be starting to wrap up. So here's just a quick sort of like three main things here. The rain wraps up for tomorrow and your Monday. Thanksgiving, I do think we have some pretty decent weather for it. 50s and sunny, close to 60. And it'll be turning even cooler though, like I said, 40s by the time we get towards next weekend in about a week. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions or comments. Ruth saying it's pouring in Edmond. Winds picked up. A lot of lightning. Absolutely. All right, guys, I do have to hop off because we have the news here coming up within the next few minutes and everything. Be sure to tune into KOCO on your TV screens or fire up the KOCO weather app and all of that. And we'll have more of your news, weather, sports, all of that. I'll break down more of the forecast as well if you're wanting to see that 5+5 day. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you all over on TV.